Hi everyone. Good morning. All right. So yesterday we were trying to scrape this website, this link, but we are unable to do because here we are getting zero as the length of that reviews, right? And I tried this yesterday. Uh, I have same code with me, and I mean right now we are not. It says list index is out of range. So what we'll do is, instead of scraping this thing, I'll show you another way to scrape the website, right? You can do this thing. You can follow the same pattern, but if it is not giving us, we have another alternative to scrape the website, right? So what we are going to do is, we are going to scrape some Wikipedia pages, right? So let us try to do that. Let us try to do that. So here, what we are going to do is, we'll do the same thing. We are going to import bs4 as bs, import bs4 as bs, just like your import numpy as np. So bs4 as bs, and we have to import libraries to access a website. We have to import libraries to access website. Access website. We need to write an import URL lib dot request, and we need to import request. And as you know, we'll require these two libraries: importing panda as pd, import numpy as np, right? This is something which we are going to do. Now, we'll just take a URL. For an example, on Wikipedia, I'm interested to fetch or scrape this website, this page, artificial intelligence, Wikipedia. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create an object, scrape underscore data is equals to URL lib dot request dot URL open. This will open that URL, and in that URL, in quotes, you need to pass this URL for this. We can do the same thing. Just we'll try this out last time for this. Mm, Instead of this, can we try this out? First URL. So we will require this an article is equals to, you just need to write an article is equals to scrape underscore or scrape dot read, this one. And if you check what is there in article, all right, this is what we are getting, no? Right. So in this way, you can do this for the earlier page as well. And what is this? This is just a scraped data for that particular website. And we'll see, like as you can see over here, we have some numbers, then color, and this thing that is not required, and we cannot able to understand that, right? So how to filter that out? Here also, let me delete this. Here also, if you just write down article is equals to scrape underscore data dot read, and if you check article, what you are going to get is you are going to get the uh, HTML file for this HTML file for this page, artificial intelligence, right? So you can see vector feature main, pin you pin disable, vector feature eliminated, but still we have some special characters, we have some plus dollar sign, then n number of things are there which are not required and which is not uh, due to which we are not able to understand what is there exactly in that particular page. So what we'll do is we'll create one parsed article. In that, we are going to use beautiful soup library, beautiful soup, and I'm going to pass this article, and I'm interested to filter out HTML page or HTML link if it is there. And then if I just print parsed underscore article dot p, so I'm going to get this. Now, what I'm going to do is wherever uh, your in your article, in your HTML page, wherever the line is getting started with this thing, P, this thing, it will split from that particular thing. So wherever this P is there, it will create new next passage. It will create that line again. It will create that line again. If P is there, it will split that particular segment and go to the next paragraph. So this is known as parsing. This is known as parsing. 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 Right? So parse article is something which we are using to paragraph this data, because this is continuation, right? This is not in paragraph. This is not in paragraph. We wanted to have some paragraphs like this, right? How it is going to have a paragraph? We are going to add a command. So paragraphs is equals to parse underscore article dot find underscore all, and you're going to find P over there. And if you write down paragraphs, if you write down paragraphs, parag, okay, spelling is wrong, I think. If you write down paragraphs, you can see earlier your text is not into paragraph. Now this P, wherever there is a P, it is going to have some paragraphs. So artificial intelligence in its broadest sense, and then such machines may be called as AIs. We have this text, then some high profile, then applications of AI title, application of AI, then advanced, till this where do we have not labeled AI anymore? Not labeled AI anymore. Can you see this? But still we have one problem. We have this span, soup, class reference, site reference, and something like that. That is also a problematic situation for us. But we have solved 10% of the problem which is there. Yes or no? Now, what we will do is, for this problem, to handle this problem, we will create a simple for loop. What we'll write down? For each P in paragraph, for each P in my paragraph, I hope it is paragraph, or it is paragraphs. For each P in my paragraphs, for each P in my paragraphs, I'm going to print P dot text. Right? For each P in paragraph, I'm going to print P dot text. Now I think it is looking good. If you see, this is what we have. Here also same thing. Again, this is what we have. So everything is looking clean and uh, uh, neat, right? So this is how you can parse the article or your this. what you can say, your page, right? Now, we don't want this in paragraphs, so we'll just merge this with article text underscore AI is equals to a blank string. And we are going to write on for P in paragraphs, for P in paragraphs. We are going to write an article underscore text underscore AI is equals to article underscore text underscore AI plus P dot text. If I run this and if I check article underscore text underscore AI, so everything is there, but it's not in a paragraph, right? I hope this is clear for you. I'll do one more thing. Uh, what we'll do is we'll scrape another website, which is your, let's say, machine learning, machine learning, uh, Wikipedia, this page, right? And you have to do same thing again. Again, this is something which we can solve by using the same approach. You can do that. I'll show you one more. I'll show you one more thing, which is same. Uh, we'll take the same way. We'll do it in the same way that we have done. First, what we have taken is we have taken scrape underscore data, right? So we'll just take that out. Or instead of this, let us create new Python 3 notebook. Let's write down web scraping machine learning, right? And let us take that. Before that, we'll require necessary libraries. So we'll import that over here. And just we will require this thing over here, right? Sorry, not here. Here. So we'll take the HTML link, or we'll take this link and we'll paste it over here. So first thing is done. Now, what we did is article is equals to scrape underscore data dot read. You just need to read this file. You can check article. Then what we did is next thing was we have written down parse underscore article. No, parse underscore article is equals to bs dot beautiful soup. In that article, comma lxml, and you're going to print parse underscore article dot p, right? And the next thing that we are going to have is paragraphs is equals to parse underscore articles dot find all, or find underscore all, that will pass p. And we are going to write on paragraphs over here, right? So it will get converted into a paragraph, but we need to uh, remove this span and this thing. So for that, write on for p in paragraphs. For p in paragraphs, we are going to print p dot text. So it is we have successfully removed that HTML special characters. And what we'll do now is here, what we'll do now is we'll write an article underscore text underscore machine learning ML is equals to blank quotes for p in paragraphs, for p in paragraphs. We'll write an article text underscore ml is equals to article underscore text underscore ml plus p dot text. You run this, and if you check what is there in article underscore text underscore ml, this is what we have, right? But one more thing over here which we have not done. Everything is good, but we still have one problem. That is nothing but we have um, this thing, right? The citation. We have citation over here, 22, then 23, then this thing. We still have that. And we want to remove the this thing as well. If you see one more thing, we have some special characters, like anything in between A to Z, special characters like at the rate, dollars, or hash. It is still present over there, but we need to check line by line for that. Yeah. Can you see this? This thing, formula is there, then slash n is there, right? The citation is there, and this thing I was talking about. Yes. So for that, we need to clean that data, right? We need to clean that data. And for this, we have one package which is known as regex, which generally used to clean the text kind of data, text data. Regex package is used to clean the text data, right? So that is something which we are going to learn now. This thing, Python regular expression, uh, which you guys will learn one more time in natural language processing. Over there, I was actually planning to take this regular expression package, but I'll just give you overview of that as of now. What it does is, see, first of all, you need to import this regex package as RE, and then you can, uh, depending upon your requirement, you can remove that thing. Suppose you have a string, let's say this is your text, in which you have the simple text, the rain in Spain. And what you want to do is you want to search a dollar sign in this string. Re dot search this caret symbol plus star symbol. Do we have that in your string, or dollar symbol? We are searching this in our text, right? As it is not there, so we are not getting in the output. Yes or no? Are you guys getting this point? What we are trying to study now? Yes, everyone? Yeah, what about other guys? I can only see Kannan response. Are you guys getting this? Web scraping. If you're not understanding, then you can let me know. I'll make it simple for you. But just let me know if you're not getting that. I'll repeat this for even if we have only single guy who has not who has not understood this, right? Even if we have a single student who has not understood this, for whom to whom it is not clear, we can repeat this. We can see it one more time, right? Not understanding. Okay, Navin, what we are doing is actually, Navin, see, uh, there are several ways to take out data, right? And do some analysis. The first way we have seen is, till now, what we were doing is, what we were doing is we were reading CSV file, right? If you see earlier, that was the basic thing which we are doing, right? You have CSV file, you just load that and you do some analysis by using pandas. Yes or no? This car CSV or this sales XLSX, we were doing that, right? Yes or no? Right? So this is your Excel file and we are reading that. That is your first way to get the data. But most of the times we have data in text format, .txt, right? Or you have data which is there in PDF format, or you have data which is there in SQL format, or sometimes you have to get the data from websites, right? We have to get data from websites. Like we don't have a data, but data is already available on your website. So for that, uh, uh, for that reason, you will what we'll do is we can copy this data first way, very naive and basic way. But second way, we have some programming knowledge, we have some programming kind of thing, which will directly extract data if you just provide a hyperlink of that. You just provide a link for that. And that is what we are doing, no? See, what we are doing is we are opening that URL by using this URL lib.request.url open, and you are just passing a HTML file. Yes or no? Yes, Naveen? And then what we are doing is we are reading that, but here we have some HTML kind of thing over here, which is not required. So what we'll do is we'll just clean that data by using this LXML. LXML means wherever there is HTML syntax or uh, that kind of thing, we will not touch that. Basically, what we'll do is, see, this is what we are actually having a look at, right? But at the back end, if you see, if you just inspect this thing, there is one HTML page, no? This P and this thing. So they have created this page, and what you see is you see this thing. You don't see this. But that is HTML page, no? So even at the time of scraping this data, you'll get that thing, HTML syntax. But you don't want that. You just want plain text, no? So what you'll do, you'll just pass that paragraph, and you'll just filter out this LXML. It's just a keyword which will filter most of the data, clean that data. And then wherever there is a P, you are creating a paragraph. So parse underscore article dot find all. We are finding each and every P. If P is there, we are just making a paragraph, right? So paragraph is created. Can you see that? Earlier paragraph is not there, but you have created paragraph. And then for P in each paragraph, we are just converting that to a text by writing down print P dot text, converting that paragraph into a text. So basically removing this extra hyperlinks or a number of things by using this. So wherever there is a P, we are just converting that to a text. That's all. Yes or no? Now it is clear,
Yes, sir.
right? Now, if you see here, we are using find all. Where it is, we are using find all. That is nothing but a function. What is that? See, you have this text, the rain in Spain. You just want to find out wherever there is AI. So in this text, we have AI in this, no? This one and this one, right? AI and this AI. Can you say this? We have AI, no? This AI and this AI. So it will find that. That's all. So we have two AI, right? So you can do this for this text as well. You can just find, let's say you want to find S. So as S is not there, capital S we have, and as Python is your uh, it will treat capital S and small s separately. It's a case sensitive, so you'll not get the output. But if you write down capital S, you'll get the output for that. So that is your find all function, right? So likewise, we have uh, n number of things. Search is also something which we have used over here. If you just see, we have used, or we can use search. Let's say uh, in this text, I want to search Spain. In this text, I have this text with me, the rain in Spain, and I'm interested to search Portugal. It is not there, as we know. But if I just search Spain, if I just search Spain, I'll get that. And exact at which location? At the index position 12 to 17, I have Spain. You can count that. The space rain, space in, space Spain. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 12 to 16, but it is ending at 17. If you write down 12 to 17, you'll get numbers from 12, 13, 14 up to 16, right? So it is at that particular span. So this is a regex package for you, right? As of now, what we will do is, see, the flow of our learning will be Python will start, will finish. We are on the verge of finishing this Python, advanced Python. Then we'll start with the basics of machine learning, right? Then there's deep learning for you. And this deep learning gets further divided into 3 segments. So wherever you have text kind of data, that subset is known as natural language processing. So this natural language processing deals with all the textual data, all the text kind of data, right? Same like this. So this prominently comes under that application of NLP, which you can see you have that in syllabus at the end of this classes. If you just see the syllabus, or I'll show you just a minute. If you just go through with your syllabus, you'll understand that we have separate part for that NLP. So moreover, uh, it is recommended to go this regex thing, then word scraping, web scraping at that particular point of time, right? See, this is deep learning. And after that, we have natural language processing for module number 15. Here we are going to study the text thing and everything related to text analysis. So we have this topic separately assigned for that module, which is on session number 28 and 29. And if you ask, uh, what if we have images or videos? So that is now known as computer vision. That is known as computer vision. And it is another separate topic which we are going to study in this module, computer vision and convolutional neural network. So there you'll understand how do we load an image, how do we read that image, analyze that image. We can also have image data, right, or video data. So we'll understand this in module number 14, session number 26 and 27. Right? As of now, if we only go with this, we can go through with this, but it will be very heavy for you. So we'll just discuss this in more detailed fashion at this point of time, module 14 and module 15. So at this point of time, we'll just discuss the basic overview of how do we read a text, how do we scrape the data, and everything extensively we have planned out for that module 14 and 15. Is it clear now, everyone? So likewise, I can give you one activity. You just need to scrape 2 websites or 2 pages. That 2 pages are, one is Wikipedia. You can have data analysis. Second page, Wikipedia. Um, Computer revision you can take, right? So same thing you have to do, just like this. And this is just for your understanding. Don't do this. This is just for your understanding of regix package. So same thing you just need to do. You just need to replace that particular link with your uh, other Wikipedia pages link. Suppose what you'll do is you'll write down Wikipedia data analysis, and you'll go to this page. You'll take this URL and you'll scrape this website or scrape this page, right? Yeah. Is it clear now, everyone? Anybody have any questions? So that is
Vipul,
just, yeah,
Vipul.
yes.
Yeah, yesterday we are trying to get the particular element like by using the class or ID. If such a case, what we need to do actually? Right
Uh,
now we are getting overall tag, right? By tag wise, p tag or div tag, we are getting the information.
mhm.
Let's say we want to fetch the particular element means is there any way? Uh, that
Specific,
is my.
specific.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, we will discuss that.
okay, okay,
We'll discuss that. Don't worry.
okay, Vipul, thank you.
So that is extensively. If we discuss that, I mean, only one session is not sufficient. We'll require two,
Okay,
3 sessions.
mm,
It's
okay, Vipul, no problem. Whenever we get a chance, we will come.
Yes, yes. Don't
No
worry.
problem.
Extensively, we are going to
Mm,
discuss NLP and its application. I'll
yeah,
discuss,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
walk you through
Mm,
with my projects which we are doing in the industry. Don't worry about that.
okay, okay. Yesterday we discussed that, so I asked. No problem, Vipul. We can discuss. No problem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure.
Thank you, thank you.
Now let's discuss the next part in this data cleaning and this thing only. Uh, so that is nothing but API. How do we read API or how do we deal with API? So getting data from API. We have up till now we have seen how do we get data from text file, SQL file, and websites. Now it's time to go with the uh, this topic, which is getting data from APIs, right? Getting data from API. This is what we'll write. Now APIs or application programming interface. It is known as application programming interface. What is API? Just application programming interface. Right? They are created by companies and organizations to provide restricted access to data, right? And it is very common to get data from APIs for data analysis. For example, you can get financial data from stock prices, you can get social media data from Facebook, Twitter, etc. They provide their APIs. You can get weather data, data about healthcare, music, food, and drinks, and from almost every domain. Apart from being rich sources of data, there are other reasons why we should use APIs. So when the data is being updated in real time, if you use downloaded CSV file, you have to download that data, right? Download data manually and update your analysis multiple times. But through APIs, you can automate the process of getting real time data, right? For this CSV file, what we need to do is we download that data and we'll not get updated data. Suppose if we have some data on websites, let's say CSV file data. Suppose this is your file, and what these websites are doing is this is New Zealand's that or their government website. Suppose if you suppose download this annual enterprise survey for 2023 financial year, you'll get only that record. No, what if they have updated this, let's say after 2 months, you'll not get the updated one, right? You only have the historical data, past data. So for that, to update this, you can automate this process of getting real-time data by using API. Second way is easy to access, easy access to structured and verified data. Though you can scrape websites, API can directly provide data in structured format and is of better quality than your websites. The second point is it is better quality than your websites. Third, now access to restricted data. Access to restricted data. You cannot scrape all the websites easily. Now, this point we need to discuss because it is very important. If you try to scrape some confidential websites like different government websites or different companies' website, you'll not be able to do that first point because they have some security, they have some uh, what we can say, they have restricted their data which cannot be scraped easily. You cannot scrape easily. Suppose you want to scrape this thing, you try to add this HTML link, you'll not be able to do that. First point. Second point is we should not do that because that is legal offense, illegal thing. You will be, I mean, it is not suggested, it is not uh, allowed as well. So even if you try to do that, it will, as it is restricted, you'll not be able to do that. But that comes under uh, illegal activity. So you should not scrape any website out there. If it is very confidential, you should not do that, right? uh, that's often illegal. For an example, Facebook, financial data, etc. APIs are the only way to get this confidential or restricted data. So there are many more reasons depending on the use cases and domain of the applications. Now I'll share with you a list of useful APIs which are available on uh, on one GitHub repository. So just give me a moment. I'll just take out that and you can refer that uh, thing for your understanding. So this is just one of the extra materials that I'm providing. You can refer that to get a list of entire APIs. So you don't need to go anywhere. You just need to go to that link where you'll find a list of n number of APIs to get the data. Is it related to me? Just give me a minute. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Let me take this. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So we were discussing this thing only where I told you that we have the one useful API repository. If you go to that link, you'll find public APIs, right? So one is API layer, second is the if you want data from, let's say, cryptocurrency, you can go to this cryptocurrency and we have some APIs, this 0x, Alchemy, Binance. So everything is provided and you can simply take out that data and read that. We are going to do this. But this is very useful. If you want to explore this, you can go to this repository and you can download the or you can link establish a link between these APIs. Now we have example. use case, which is over here. So let us comment this line, or let us add this as heading. So uh, Google Maps provide many APIs, one of which is the Google Maps geocoding API. You can use it to geocode addresses, that is, get the latitude, longitude coordinates, and vice versa. To use API, you go to Google Developers, get an API key, and go to the geocoding API page. Once you have an API key, getting the geocoded data of an address is very easy. For example, if you want to geocode the address, upgrade this building, this thing. Let's say if you search this particular thing, or instead of that, let's say we research park, right? Suppose this address you want to take out. So we'll replace this with this, right? I need to separate the words using a plus sign and provide the address and your API key in this format. So this is your link for that particular address, uh, for that address which we have taken out. So it should be separated with plus. Each and every thing should be separated with plus, right? And thus, this is just a two-step process. Join the words in the address by a plus and convert it to form words plus in plus the plus address, and connect to the URL by appending the address and the API key and get a response from the API and convert it to Python object. Here, we are going to convert this into a dictionary. If you see, request, I mean, they are not providing us, it's a confidential thing, as the access is restricted, as I was discussing. So you're not able to do that for this upgrade kind of thing. Similarly, for IIT, I mean, for this GUI address, you can do the same thing. But again, if they have not restricted, you will be able to get their API for their website or for their address kind of thing. But most of the times, if uh, it is an organization, why would they provide their data for free, right? They will have some restriction. So this is something which we should take care. Uh, Now, okay, we can write down this as pointwise. We need to get a response from the API. Now let's try to do that. What we'll do is we'll import numpy as np, import pandas as pd, and we need requests to connect to the URL, JSON, to convert JSON to DICT, and we need to import requests, comma JSON, will import ppprint or pprint. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to joining words in the address by plus, and we'll write an add is equals to upgrade, comma Nishuvi building. What I'm doing is I'm just taking their address. That's all. This one, Nishuvi ground floor. So Nishuvi building, ground floor, Nishuvi building, comma any this road So in Worli, so WORLI, comma Mumbai, right? And I'm going to split this address. What is this? This is just a regex website, guys, which I have discussed and which we are going to discuss in NLP. So we are splitting wherever there is a space, split address, and that address we are going to join with plus. So basically, wherever there is a space, we are splitting that address and we are going to join that. So plus dot join. What we want to join? We want to join this split address. Split address. This one, right? And we are going to print the address. Now we connect to the Google Maps URL using the API key and the address and get a response. Like most APIs, Google Maps return the geocoded data in a JSON format, which is similar to Python dictionary. As seen in the earlier section, we use request dot get URL method to get a data from a URL. So right now we are not able to get this. Here we'll get a key for their API. See, the provided API key is invalid, but generally we are going to get a key for this. Okay, your API key. Hmm. I have that API key. Let me take that out. Let's try this if we are going to get. Oh, just a minute. Yeah, if I just take this out, uh, you must be enable billing to the Google Cloud project and this and learn more about developers. Request denied. Again, it's a restricted access. You cannot do that. You need to have permission, then only you can get their APIs and get access to their data, right? So instead of this, you can try this for your Wikipedia pages or any free access, free website out there. So first important point, don't do it for the organization wherever uh, you might think you think they will have some restricted access to the data, right? Now, if you just uh, get the dictionary kind of structure, like you see here, it's a dictionary and address and API key. So these are the key and these are the values for that dictionary, right? Key and value. Then the it is known as JSON object and it is most common way of exchanging data through APIs. We can easily convert the JSON object to Python dictionary using JSON.loads JSON object. We'll take out that as well. We can easily convert that into uh, JSON object into Python dictionary by using this JSON.loads and JSON object, right? So this is what we have, right? Now, you need to notice that JSON object contains various details of the address, component of the address, full address, the latitude and longitude, pin code, etc. Let's convert that JSON to a dictionary so that we can work with it easily. How can we do this is we can convert the JSON object to a dictionary using JSON.loads, and close bracket, r underscore dict is equals to JSON.loads r.text. And the pretty printing library pprint makes it easy to read large dictionaries. Ppprint dot ppprint or pprint r underscore dictionary. Load LOAD. Okay. Now, uh, the next thing is for this is the dictionary that we are going to get in order to dict has two main keys. One is status, another is result. Right? We'll write on R underscore DICT dot keys, open and close bracket, which will give us the keys. And then there's something which is known as converting latitude and longitude, which will do it. Then we'll get coordinate address file. Now, as this is restricted, we are not able to do that. But I'll just share a code scenario. You can have a look at that. Even though it's not that important, and I'm taking this as additional content for you guys, so that you should know, you should have an idea about APIs. You can go through this. I'll just share a block of codes over there, right? Now, in our syllabus, if we go to syllabus, do we have that? What is remaining is okay, class and object is remaining. No, we'll see that. But before going to that, we'll just read a PDF file. Just read a PDF file. So this getting data from APIs, we can try it out, but I hope for all the organization they will restrict their data, so there's no point of doing that. Uh, the link that I've shared for this APIs, no, you can try that here. For all the APIs out there, these are the free APIs. You can try and fetch the data from that. The free APIs, browse all APIs or explore by categories. You want to get data from animals. So I'll get this. Right? So it's a one-stop solution for all the data and APIs out there. All right. Now, last point for this thing is we are going to read PDF files in Python. We'll see how do we read the PDF file. Okay. There is one module which were there earlier, PyPDF. See, it's a free and open source pure Python PDF library capable of splitting and merging cropping. Uh, so we are going to use this module to read our PDF data. So first of all, we need to will require to install that. We'll install this. We install PyPDF2. We'll read this as we'll rename this as reading PDF files in Python. So we're installing that and we're going to use this PyPDF. So reading PDF file is not that straightforward as reading text or delimited files. Since PDFs are they often contain images and tables, right? PDF are mainly designed to be human readable, and thus you need to You need special libraries to read them in Python or any other programming language. So you'll require special libraries. Require special libraries. Luckily, there are some other really good libraries in Python that we can see. We have PyPDF2 to read PDFs in Python. Since it is easy to use and works with most types of PDFs, note that Python will only be able to read text from PDF, not images or tables. So images or tables, Python will not able to read that. Only text from the PDF. Since it is easy to use and works with most, uh, although it is possible using other specialized libraries, uh, you can install PyPDF, which we have done now. We'll go to pip install PyPDF, this thing, and then for an illustration purpose, I'll show you uh, how can we read PDF file. So we'll read a PDF of the book Animal Farm, this one, which is written by George Orwell. So we'll read this PDF, Animal Farm, this one, right? So we just need to import the library which we have just installed by PDF2, and then we are going to read the PDF file, PDF underscore object is equals to, we are going to open the animal underscore farm dot PDF comma RB, no module name PyPDF. Installing collected package, attempting uninstall it. We will install that. Okay, let's take this out. No module direct. ठीक है, can have this. Let us try to use this function from PyPDF. We'll import PDF file reader, and you just need to provide a path for this. So we'll just download a PDF for that. We need to have a PDF, right? So we'll download this PDF, and this address, this one, we just need to provide. And R is used to read this. R means read. You can find this R, right? That is known as read. So let us take that path. Then downloads, copy path, path, and let us paste it in this quotes here. Here, this one. It is directly rejecting this Pi PDF too. I don't know why. It says no module, but or is it become obsolete? Get edited. How can I fix this? Page two. Okay. We have installed this, no? Let's try to do it.
Ripple what or can you go to your board?
Sorry, your voice is very less.
Can you go back to the code? Pi path you have given or before the double quote. Scroll down, please. Line number 6.
Line number 6.
What's that or?
Which one you're talking about?
It's the same.
This one.
Yes.
That is just to read, no? We'll discuss that. I'm going to discuss that. To read the
Oh,
file in Python. That is just to read the file in Python.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. If it's nice that you have asked this question, we'll just discuss that. Restart kernel will not do that. Let's do that. Okay. So this is very important part, which is known as file handling. We'll discuss that, and then you will be able to understand what is that R. So file handling in Python. See, the key functions for working with files in Python is the open function, right? The key function to or for working in Python is open function. The open function takes two parameters, that is file name and mode. There are four different methods for opening files. First is R, that is used to read. That is default value. Even though if you not specify, it will open a file. Opens a file for reading, and it will throw error if the file does not exist. Right? Then we have A, which is append, which opens a file for appending. Will create the file if it does not exist. Then we have W, which will write, which will open the file for writing, creates a file. If it does not exist, and then we have X, which will creates specified file that will return an error if the file exists, right? So in addition, you can specify if the file should be handled as binary or text mode. So in addition to this, you can specify if the file should be handled as binary or text mode, right? So we have T, which is a text, and it's a default value, that is text mode. Second is we have B, which is binary, that is binary mode. Now an example images. Now syntax is as we have this text companies.txt file, right? We'll try to read that. We'll write an F is equals to open. What do you want to open? You want to open that companies.txt file, right? Or we have another alternative, that is open this companies.txt rt. R is for read, T is for text. Read as text, right? Because R is for read and T is for text. For text, these are the read, and these are the default value. We don't need to specify that exclusively, right? Default value means by default it will understand that it has to be read that and it has to be in text. If it is binary, then you should write down B. So I think here we are writing RB, no? So that is binary. But still it is not taking this by PDF. Just a minute. See, everyone is using PyPDA, but here as okay, one of the solutions that we can have is we can use Colab because we don't need to install libraries over there. It's already available. Let's try to use that. Okay, so we'll import P capital PDF tools, create an object file is equals to open that PDF. This is that file. So, okay, here it is successfully installed. There, what we were getting is in this. It is trying to uninstall it again. Okay, now shall we go with this? Let's try to use it. No such file directory. Okay. If I try to upload the file over here, then copy path. I'll just specify this. Okay. It deprecated and was removed in PyD. Okay, PDF reader instead. So PDF file reader is they have I mean it has become obsolete and you cannot use that. So what it is saying is you should use PDF reader instead of that. So PDF file reader is not it is not there nowadays. Get document info is duplicated. That's the reason we are getting this error. PyPDF, they have done many changes with the metadata. So wherever that is get document in, so we should use metadata. Not callable. Okay, let's try to do this way. Create an object. Let's write on file is equals to that PDF. This one. Copy paths. What's this? Yeah. Comma RB. Create PDF reader object. Write on PDF reader is equals to by PDF2. And again, it will say PDF.file. We have to put that one. Okay, it is done now. Now we'll get the number of pages in PDF file. Pages is equals to PDF reader dot number of pages. Okay, reader is deprecated. I should use length of reader dot pages instead. Reader is modified. So how many pages do we have? This 108. If you just go to that PDF which we have downloaded, we can see how many pages do we have. So we have 108. Can you see this? So we are going in the correct direction. Now the file is loaded. We need to extract each and every pages out there. So for that, we'll pass a loop for I in range pages. You'll extract pages now. So extract page, and you'll write on page is equals to PDF reader dot get page, and that you'll pass I, and you'll print the page text content along with page number, and you're going to write on print page number comma I. You're going to print page dot extract text. They have done many changes in this library. See, reader dot get page is deprecated. It's not there. This one. Instead of that, we should use reader dot pages and page number. Reader dot pages page number. Dot, dot pages and page number is not defined. It has become obsolete. Reader dot pages. So we have done pdf dot reader dot pages pages, and in square bracket page. Yeah, this is how you have, see, can you see, this is how we have successfully read that PDF file. Page number 0 is this, and it will only extract the text as we know, right? It will extract only the text from that particular data. So if we have images, it will not extract that. So this is one of the ways that we can have for reading PDF file. But anyway, to be honest, I'll share this fact with you. You are not going to read PDF file in the industry. You will not read PDF. You will not read websites. You will not be reading APIs most of the times. API is something which we use nowadays in frequently. But the frequency that we have to read CSV file, Excel file, and text kind of file, apart from this, you will not be going to read PDF, websites, and API. Because if I show you my projects on which we are working, there itself also we are not using this. So that's the reason you might have observed that uh, I did not have any idea about the PyPDF library, right? Because we have not used that most of the times. What we use is we use uh, CSV file. We extract the CSV file, we download that CSV file, or we get CSV file from the client, and that's all. We just have to clean that data. So anyway, we should not, I'll suggest you guys to not focus more on this point. We should go to next part, which is very important, and which will be your what you can say, it will be very, very important for you as far as the interviews are concerned, which we call it as handling missing data. And this, from this point onwards, your journey in the uh, journey for the data analysis and data preparation, data pre-processing is started. So this plays very, very major role in your data analysis, data preparation, or we call it as data pre-processing as well, right? It's very, very important. You mark it as very important point. Now, in this section, we'll study the ways to identify and treat missing data. We'll identify missing data in the data frame. If you observe uh, the assignment that I've given to you, it contains this thing only. So we'll study this first, and then you can solve that assignment for yesterday. That is practice exercise number 2. So we'll identify missing data in data frames. We'll treat or delete or impute. So what is impute and what is delete? See, if you have this data in which you have some null values, missing values, so you directly delete that. That is your first option. Second option is you impute. You fill that missing values with mean, with median, and with mode majorly. But most of the times we go with mean and median. So what is imputation? Imputation means we just need to fill that missing values with mean and median, right? Filling missing values with mean and median is known as imputation. So in this session, we are going to see imputation techniques to deal or treat with the missing values. And there are various reasons for missing data, such as human errors during data entry, non-availability at the end of the user. So suppose if you are asking user, if you are collecting data from user, and you need to have an idea about the date of birth. So most of the times, if you observe, many of the people, they will not share that date of birth, as they're not willing to share that particular kind of thing. So that would be one of the reasons why you have blank data. Suppose you have one uh, customer, let's say ABC, he has not shared that date of birth data with you. So obviously it will be blank. You are as a data preparation or as a data entry guy, he'll not be having that data, right? Or let's say age. So there is another guy which is XYZ, and he's not also not willing to share his age. We'll have blank record for that. So second reason is non-availability at the end of the user. Or first prominent reason, which you guys will also agree with me, we can have human error, right? Like if the data entry guy is very tired and he's filling 10,000 records per day, so you might observe that human error might be the first reason, that reason for your missing data, right? So first reason is human error. Second is unavailability at the end of the user. And most often the reasons are simply unknown. You don't have any reason for why there is missing value. So it's not like that the data that you get in the industry, if you are working as a data scientist or analyst, you'll be always be having very clean data. It's not like that. Means there are no missing values, nothing. You just need to take out that data and just need to go with the analysis. It will not be like that. Remember this point. So the data which we get is very unclean. And as I always emphasize on saying this point, that 80 to 90% time for your entire machine learning project, entire machine learning project will be, you guys will be spending on this data cleaning and preparation itself, right? So that's why I told this is very, very important point for us to deal with. right? So in Python, missing data is often represented using either of the two objects, NaN, which is not a number, we will not get into the differences between them and how Python stores them internally, etc. What we'll do is focus on we'll focus on studying ways to identify and treat missing values in pandas data frames. So there are four main methods to identify and treat missing data. First is null. So it indicates presence of your missing values, right? Second point is it will return Boolean value, basically returns a Boolean value. If it is if you have null value, it will throw as true. If no, then it will be false. Then we have not null, which is opposite of is null, and it returns a Boolean value. Then we have drop NA, which is used to drop the missing values from a data frame and returns the rest. And last but not the least, we have fill NA, which we use to impute the values as we have discussed. So it fills or imputes the missing values by a specified value. So for this exercise, what we are going to do is we'll use Melbourne house pricing dataset, and we'll go with the data cleaning operation or handling the missing data, right? So that's what we have. We'll take a short break over here. I'll share a dataset link with you, which you guys are going to use. You can download that. So I'll share this with anyone with the link. Or instead of that, I can upload it on your drive, no? That will make sense. I'll just download this and upload it on your drive. Yes, anybody have any questions now in this session? Yes, Karthik, Arvind, Arun, Darshini, Kannan, Madhu, Murli, Sai, Sharmila, Venu, and Varun Karthik. Do you guys have any doubts, any questions? Or are you guys finding it a little difficult? This part is very easy. This is very simple and it's very, very important as it. It's very interesting, right? You'll find it very interesting. Trust me. And reading and file handling, which is something which is not that important. So you can literally have leverage to skip that part. You just need to focus on how do you read text file, how do you uh, open text PDF file, sorry, not PDF, Excel file and CSV file. That's all. So 95% of the time in the industry, you'll find yourself in exploring that CSV and Excel file itself. So today's 3rd November. I'm creating a file for that, folder for that. And here I'll just upload that data set which we are going to use. So that is melbourne.csv, this one. If you want that PDF file which we are trying to read, I'll share that as well. And this is your link for your drive. So you guys be ready with this. What we'll do is we'll quickly read our data and then we'll stop, not stop, we'll take a break for this, right? So I'll quickly take this out. What we'll do is we'll import pandas as PD, import numpy as np. I'll upload that file which we are going to use over here. Upload that melbourne.csv file. I'll upload it over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read that file. So df is equals to pd dot read underscore csv, and that is melbourne.csv df dot head, right? So this is your file. And if you observe, we have nn here, nn here, here. So there are n number of missing values which you can get to see, or you can just write down df dot is null dot sum. So for all the columns out there, you'll get a list of missing values. For price, we have 5151 missing values. Bedroom, we have 4481. Bathroom, we have this. So there are n number of missing values, and this data is very unclean. And this is how you can expect the data when you are working in the industry, right? So it's 10:40 right now. We'll have a break for 10 minutes or 15 minutes at least. Let's meet somewhere around 10:52 a.m. Let's have a break till now, till this. Yeah, meanwhile, if you have any questions or if you want to discuss anything, you can let me know in the chat as well. I'll read it and we'll discuss that after the break. Yes, hi. So we'll now deal with some missing values. Um, so let us start with that. Okay. So if you see approximately, we have 5,000, 13,000, 12,000. So there are huge missing values which we cannot neglect, right? So for that, what we are going to do is, we'll first of all check shape of the data, which is something which we need to use. And we'll check info of the data by using df.info to get an idea about the missing values and that kind of thing. So the method to identify missing values, which we already have discussed, identifying missing values. The methods are is null and not null. Is null and not null. These are most common ways of identifying missing values. While handling missing data, you first need to identify the rows and columns containing missing values. You need to count the number of missing values and then decide how you want to treat them. It is important that you treat missing values in each column separately rather than implementing a single solution, which is replacing null values by the mean of the column or for all the columns. Is null returns Boolean, that is true or false, which can then be used to find rows or columns containing missing values. So that is just a basic which we already have discussed. I'll just take that out and I'll just write down over there. Okay, this is what we already have discussed, a theoretical description. Now, uh, as we have discussed, if you write down df.is null, you'll only be getting the Boolean values, that is null and that kind of thing. I mean, false, true, only that thing. But what if you want to have, if you want to get some, so identifying missing values in columns. Let's first compute the total number of missing values in the data frame. You can calculate the number of missing values in each column by df.isNull.sum, right? And summing up the missing values, which is column wise, you need to write down df.isNull.sum, which we already have done earlier, right? So we are getting some of the missing values out there, column wise. And note that some columns have extremely large number of missing values. For an example, building area and year built, such as price, bedroom 2, year built, and this thing. In such cases, one should be careful in handling missing values, since if you replace them by arbitrary numbers such as mean, median, etc., the entire further analysis may throw unrealistic or unexpected results. The functions any and all are quite useful for this. Any and all are quite useful to identify rows and columns having missing values. Any returns true when at least one value satisfies the condition. So it is equivalent to or. And all returns true when all the values satisfy the condition. So it is equivalent to and logical operator. Right? N is equivalent to or and all is equivalent to and logical operator. So we'll take that out. Then columns having at least one missing value is df.isNull dot sum, sorry, dot any. So at least one missing values, or above is equivalent to axis is equals to 0. So it is by default any operates on columns, right? By default any operates on column. Now we have identified columns having missing values and have completed and have computed, not completed, computed the number of missing values in each column. So let us do the same for rows. Let us do the same for rows. Now we need to identify missing values in each row, right? So we'll use df.isNull dot any and axis equals to 1. So for each row, we are identifying the missing values over there, right? And axis equals to 1, which we already have discussed, it is used for rows, right? And axis equals to 0, it is used for columns. If you remember, we have discussed this. Is it clear, everyone? Then further, we have rows having all missing values. We'll write on df.isNull dot all axis is equals to 1. Rows having all missing values. df.isNull dot all axis equals to 1. And to sum it up, to check how many rows have all missing values, we'll write on df.isNull dot all axis is equals to 1 dot sum. So to sum it up, we check how many rows have all missing values. So there is no any row which has all the missing values, right? Right? All the missing values means if you check how many records do we have, 23,547 should be missing values. Do we have any records as such where we have 23,000 missing values? No, right? So that's why it is 0. So no row has all the missing values. That's what it means, right? And often you may want to remove the rows having more than a certain threshold number of missing values. To do that, you need to count the number of missing values in each row using sum. So ideally, if the missing values are more than 30%, 40%, we should treat that missing value. If it is less than that, we should treat it in other ways. So if the missing values are, let's say, more than 30%, so we have to deal with that. Sum of missing values in each row would be df.isNull dot sum, axis is equals to 1. This is what we have, right? Now we have now identified the number of missing values in columns, the number of missing values in rows. And let's now move ahead and treat the missing values. Let's now move ahead and treat the missing values. So how do you treat the missing values? There are broadly two ways to treat missing values. One is delete, and another that we have discussed is impute. So there are broadly two ways. One is delete. So we delete the missing values. Second is impute. We impute by a simple statistics like replacing missing values with another values, which are mean or median or mode. And there are certain predictive techniques which you are going to study in while you are going to start with machine learning part. So there are KNN methods, K nearest neighbor, SVM. This is also one of the machine learning models that we have that we use to predict the missing values. That's all. So in general, imputation makes assumptions about the missing values and replaces missing values by an arbitrary number such as mean, median, and mode. It should be used only when you are reasonably confident about the assumptions, right? Imputation should be used only when you are reasonably confident about the assumptions. Otherwise, deletion is often safer and recommended. You may lose some data, but will not make any unreasonable assumptions, right? And caution is always have a backup of your original data. Always have a backup of your original data if you are deleting the missing values. And how you treat missing values and should ideally depend upon an understanding of why missing values occur. The reason are classified into categories such as missing completely at random, missing at random, missingness that depends on missing values itself, etc. We'll not discuss why missing values occur, though I'll share one article. If you are interested in that, you can read that article, right? So how do you treat missing values should ideally depend upon understanding of why that missing values occur, right? So I'll share that article. You can go through that. It will discuss, I will not going to discuss why that missing value generally occurs, but you can read that. So broadly, this discussion, I'm going to take it out. So here, treating missing values. This is what we had expected. This one, imputing is a predictive analytics in general. Otherwise, caution will have back about this. I should stop saying that. And this is that link which you can read to get an idea about the missing data imputation. So it is, I think, by Columbia Educational University. You can go through this if you are really interested to explore more about this, even though it is little advanced, but if somebody is curious, you can go through that, right? Now that is about your columns, that is about your rows, right? How do you treat missing values in columns then? Now let us now treat missing values in columns. Let's look at number of NaN in each column again, and this time as the percentage of missing values in each column. So notice that we calculate number of rows. We calculate number of rows as length of give.index. And summing up the missing values will sum up the missing value, that is column wise, round 100 into df.isNull dot sum divided by length of df.index comma 2. So we are just checking the percentage of null values. What we are doing is we are finding sum of null values. As we have discussed, this will give you the sum of the missing values, right? This one will give you sum of the missing values. So it's 5151, 4481, and this thing. We are dividing that with length of df dot index. What is your length of df dot index? It is obviously total number of rows. You have 23,547. So each value, let's say this one, 13,529 divided by 23,547 divided by 23,547. This one. It is 57%. Let's take this 7891 divided by 23,547. This one also, yeah. So 33% and 57%. Can you see this? 57% and 33%. So these are just percentage of your missing values. That's all. Right? Now notice that there are columns almost having 22%, 19%, 26, 57%, etc. missing values. When dealing with columns, you have two simple choices. Either you delete missing values or you return that missing values. Either you delete or you return that missing values. If you delete the missing values, you lose data. And if you impute, you introduce bias. If you delete, you miss that data. And if you impute, you will introduce a bias. What is bias? It's just an error. It's just an error. So we are not going to go in technicalities of bias. That is something which we are going to discuss in machine learning, which you, if you see syllabus of your module, you'll be able to see that we have bias specifically allocated to just it is specifically allocated in machine learning. They are not specifically given over here, but bias is something which is part of machine learning. We are going to discuss more about that in your machine learning refresher. So as of now, to just give you guys an idea what is bias, it's just an error term. So if you are imputing your missing values, you will be able to impute, you will be able to introduce bias. And apart from number of missing values, the decision to delete or return a variable depends on various other factors such as analysis, task, the analysis task at hand, the usefulness of that particular variable. For an example, this building area, how it is useful for you. We just check that based on your understanding of the problem statement. Third point is you'll see total size of available data. If you have enough data, you can afford to throw away some of it, and etc. So there are multiple ways in which you can deal with your missing values. So I'll just take this out and I'm going to paste it over here. Right? This one. So this is what we were discussing. Just apart from this, we have several ways like the analysis task at hand, the usefulness of this, total size of available area, right? And etc. For example, let's say that we want to build a linear regression, a simple model to predict the house price in Melbourne. Now, even though a variable price has about 22% missing values, you cannot drop the variable since that it is what you want to predict, right? So here, the price of a house is something which we want to predict. Means what is our problem statement in this data is Melbourne. We are interested to build a machine learning model which will predict the price of a house depending upon this columns, like address of this house, rooms, type, method, date, distance, postcode, bedroom, bathroom. So there are n number of ways, n number of variable which we are going to use to predict price of a house. So that is known as target variable which we are going to predict. So now, even though variable price has about 22% missing values, you cannot drop because you want to predict that, right? If you drop that missing values, you will be able to lose information, lose data, right? You'll be able to lose your data. So similarly, you would expect some other variables such as bedroom, bathroom, land size to be important predictors for price. Means we use this column. What do you mean by predictors? We use these columns to predict the price, right? We use this column, bathroom, feature, land size, bedroom, to predict the price of a house. And thus, we should not remove those columns because that is important for us. So entire removal of missing values is not something which we are going to do. There are other columns such as building area, which although seem important, have more than 50% missing values. It is impossible to either delete or impute the rows corresponding to such large number of missing values without losing a lot of data and introducing heavy bias. And again, this is something which you guys will discussing more detail about this in your machine learning refresher session. So there are other columns such as building area, which although seem important, have more than 50% missing values, more than 50%. So it's a huge problem for us, right? It is impossible to either delete or impute the rows corresponding to such large number of missing values without losing a lot of data or introducing heavy bias. Heavy bias means heavy error. Thus, for this exercise, let's remove the columns having more than 30% missing values, that is building area, year built, and council area. Building area, year built, and council area has more than 30% of missing values, so we should remove them. Right? So how do you remove columns? We already have discussed. How do you remove that? Removing the 3 columns. We'll write down df is equals to df dot drop. We're going to drop which column? We are going to drop building area column, this one. And from which axis, what should I write? If you are dropping column, what should I write? Then we have year built, which we are going to drop. From axis is equals to 1. Again, we are going to drop the third column, which is council area. So I'll just copy this. Instead of this, I'm going to paste that. Right? Building area is not found in the axis area. Hmm. Then if I restart and run all this, let's say. Can you see it is not giving us the error? Now we'll do the same thing. Now we'll check the missing values percentage, right? So same things, round off this 100%. We want it in percentage, a division of this in 2 decimal places. So we are rounding this to 2 decimal places, 21.88 now. And if you see these 3 columns, we already have dropped that. So price is 21.88, bedroom is 19%, So we now have columns having maximum 26% missing values, that is land size, right? So we now have the column, we now have columns having maximum 26% missing values, having land size. Next, we need to treat the rows. So we'll put heading as treating missing values in rows. Now we need to either delete or impute missing values. First, let's see if there are any rows having significant number of missing values. If so, we can drop them. So first, let us see. Let's see if there are any rows having significant number of missing values. If so, we can drop those rows and then take a decision to delete or impute the rest. And after dropping 3 columns, after dropping these three columns, we have 15 columns, no? No, sorry, I think it's 18 column. Let's check how many columns do we have. We have 18 columns. After dropping these 3 columns, we have 18 columns to work with. Okay, so we'll stop here for the day. If you have any questions, you can ask. If you observe, uh, if you have seen in our syllabus, we already have started this session number 11, right? Handling missing data and outlier detection and correction example. So up till now, it's already 11:26. I wanted to discuss this part, which is object and class, which we'll do it in the next session now because we don't have time. Apart from this, we have completed every module out there. We still, I mean, what is remaining with us is module 5, which is Introduction to SQL, session number 8 and 9. Apart from that, we have completed session up to session number 7, and we have completed half part of session 11, right? So module, I mean, session number 8, 9, and 10 is something which is remaining, which we'll do it gradually because we need to cover important part. This is literally not feasible to cover all this topic in one session itself. So they have allowed us to extend some session, right? So again, for SQL, we are not able to finish this thing only in 5 hours. It will at least require 3 sessions to complete this, right? That's the reason we are extending our sessions. Yeah. Now what I'll do is I'll share this notebooks on your drive. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, if you want to discuss anything, you can discuss. We still have 2 minutes. Yes, anybody wants to discuss anything? Yeah. Anybody have any questions? Downloaded. Okay, done. Let's just take this and I'm going to paste it on your drive. Okay, all right then. I cannot see any questions. You go through this one more time, and if you have any questions, we'll discuss in the next session, right? All right, everyone. Thank you. Happy learning.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Vipul.